What is going on, y'all? I'm here today to talk to y'all about how to get started cutting hair, how to get people to let you start cutting their hair. Before I start, I'm gonna tell y'all my personal experience on how I got started. So when I was starting out, the first thing I did was make a social media page. You know, I took a blank social media page and I just took pictures of whatever work I did. Anytime I cut myself, I had my brother take videos. I took videos myself. It was just as simple as knocking my hair down on top, edging myself up, and I would post videos like that. I would go to the gym. I made business cards before I even start cutting hair. So I went on like Vistaprint or something like that. And I used to go to the gym a lot. So I would find strangers with haircuts similar to mine, and I would approach them and let them know I was cutting hair, even though I didn't know what I was doing. So that's another way you can go about it. I let my family and friends know. You know, I let them know when I was in barber school. The whole way through, I was taking videos and pictures of everything I did. So that's just my personal experience. But for y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all step by step on how to get your name out there and how to convince people to start letting you cutting their hair. So first, like I said, you want to get the word out. You want to make a social media page, and you want to post everything. Even though you might think your cuts are not good now, or your content isn't up to par, people like to see improvement. So I would just say keep posting and keep posting. The consistency is going and the repetition is gonna improve your content no matter what. So just be consistent with your content making and keep letting the word get out. Keep networking, talking to people, whatever social circles you're in. Let them know. Don't be scared to tell people what you're doing. You're gonna have doubters. Any new thing you do in life, you're gonna have doubters. You're gonna have people, but more so, it's gonna be more so support than anything. Strangers are gonna be your best ally. So get the word out. Make a social media page. And you can't cut hair without equipment. So if you don't have equipment, save up. You know, if you don't have a job, do some chores around the house. Any way you can make money, that's on you. Find a way to make some money. Any opportunity you can, save up for the basic equipment. All you need is a clipper and a trimmer, and maybe some alcohol, some clipper spray, just the simple stuff like combs, brushes, clippers, alcohol, clipper spray, and maybe some water spray. That's about it. You don't need much more than that starting out. Um, and you don't want to charge money. You know what I'm saying? You people pretty much doing you a favor to let you cut on their hair. They're gonna have to walk around with a busted cut for 2, 3 weeks, maybe a month. So they're really doing you a favor. So I wouldn't charge too much in the beginning. I wouldn't charge anything. I didn't charge anything. I was going to people's houses for free, cutting their hair for free. So that's how I would start off. That's what I recommend to you. So, you know, get the word out, save for the equipment. Don't charge anything, you know. So boom. And the people who are gonna be the easiest cuts are gonna be kids and old people and yourself. So first and foremost, you want to start cutting yourself. You know, that's your best resource, your own head. Cut your own hair, self cuts. It's easy to make content from that. Just set a camera up, have another mirror so you can see what you're doing. And yeah, so cut yourself. And then kids, people with a lot of kids, man, kids can get expensive. So if you know somebody with kids, multiple kids, especially in the family, offer to do some edge ups, offer to do basic cuts, anything you know how to do. And more than likely, if you can convince them on the price range, because people don't want to pay for cuts all the time, maybe here and there they'll let you experiment on them. Maybe school is out, they don't have to worry about the image as much. Summertime, go ahead and focus on that during the summertime. And old people, Old people is another great resource, because let's say you got a dude and he's balding. You know, let's say you offer to cut his head bald. Before you cut that man head bald, ask him if you want designs in his head. Maybe it's your uncle, maybe it's your granddad, you know, any male in your family. Maybe they from the church, maybe they from the workplace. You know, find men who get basic cuts, old men, and especially if they're balding. Before you cut a man bald, ask him, "Hey, can I practice a design in your head real quick?" You know, you can get that practice in. Practice designs, practice your edging skills before you cut him bald. He's going bald, so you can't really mess him up. So kids, old people, in your own head, that's your greatest resource. And also, if you can, buy a mannequin or two, and look up YouTube videos on how to cut straight hair. That's very important, because when you get to barber school, if you decide to go to barber school, which I recommend, you're gonna have to learn how to cut with shears, scissor cutting, and that could take a while to get used to, maybe a few years. So the earlier you start on stuff like that, mannequins, straight hair, cutting techniques, angles, just start looking into that stuff ahead of time. So yeah, get a mannequin, you cut yourself, kids, old people, practice at home. So, and remember, like I said, they're doing you a favor. Don't try to make money right away. You just want to get repetition, consistency in, and yes, that's how you get people to start trusting you on cutting their hair. That's how you convince people to start letting you cut their hair. You know, charge cheap, go free. Use every resource that you have around you. Save up for the basic equipment, and that's it, man. I'm out.